This video is sponsored by ACASIS. ACASIS, a premium tech brand. They are a full-cycle company handling everything from research and design to manufacturing. Their mission is to provide high-performance solutions for creators who value speed and efficiency. The brand is best known for its elite storage solutions. ACASIS is a leader in USB 4 and Thunderbolt enclosures, capable of reaching speeds up to 80 gigabits per second. This is a game changer for video editors and photographers who need to move massive files in seconds. Their gear is designed to be stable, reliable, and it integrates perfectly with the Mac ecosystem. Beyond storage, ACASIS offers professional video capture cards and powerful docking stations. These tools are built for content creators and office professionals who need to expand their connectivity. Whether you are streaming or setting up a high-end workstation, their plug-and-play design makes everything simple and efficient. ACASIS combines innovation with professional-grade quality. They are constantly investing in new tech to help you stay productive. ACASIS is a brand that combines innovation with practical solutions for the modern creator. If you are looking to boost your productivity and upgrade your tech setup, they are definitely a brand worth watching. You can check out more about their latest updates and products on their official website. Thanks again to ACASIS for sponsoring this video. Make sure to check out the links in the description to learn more. Hi everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to easily convert any video, whether it was shot on a camera or a phone, into HDR format. The whole process takes just a few minutes. I'm working on a Mac Mini, so I'll be using Mac OS. We'll also need Final Cut Pro and Compressor. If you're on Windows, you can do this in DaVinci Resolve, but we'll cover that in a different video. Let's get started. First, if you're using an external HDR monitor, make sure HDR support is enabled in your macOS settings. Next, open Final Cut Pro and create a new library or modify an existing one. Your new or existing library must have the correct color settings for HDR work. By default, Final Cut Pro creates libraries for SDR video. To change this, select your library name and click the Modify button in the inspector. In the window that appears, select the Wide Gamut HDR setting. Now, we need to create a new project. Select New Project from the menu. In the Settings window, enter your project name, resolution, and frame rate. Next, choose your codec and color space. For the codec, you can use whatever you're comfortable with. I usually go with uncompressed 10-bit 4.212. However, for the color space, you must select either Wide Gamut HDR, recommend 2020 PQ, or Wide Gamut HDR, recommend 2020 HLG. I personally prefer working with Recton 2020 PQ because I find it easier to manage during the color grading stage. Now, let's import a video into the project. I'm using footage from a video on my channel called Helsinki Christmas Lights 2025 Walking Tour. These original files will be the basis for our work today. I'll leave a link to that video in the description. Definitely check it out to see how beautiful Helsinki looks at Christmas. I've added the video to the timeline and cut a short, few-minute clip as an example. This is what we'll be working with. Go to the effects browser, select all video and audio, and type HDR in the search bar. Locate the HDR Tools effect and drag it onto your video on the timeline. This applies the HDR effect to the entire clip. Now, all that's left is to adjust a few HDR settings and do some basic color grading. Head over to the inspector, find the HDR Tools effect, and set the mode to SDR to HDR, PQ. This instantly converts our SDR video into HDR right on the timeline. Now we just need to do a little color grading before we're ready to render. Using the color wheels, you can fine-tune all your HDR parameters. For this clip, I've increased the highlights and tweaked a few other settings. Since this was shot at night, the color grading was pretty straightforward. Of course, all settings depend on the look you're going for. Feel free to experiment and see what works best for your footage. Now it's time to render the video. If you don't have Compressor, you can use the built-in export tools in Final Cut Pro. However, this will limit your options, and the final video quality might not be as high. That's why I strongly recommend getting Compressor. To send your project there, go to the File menu and select Send to Compressor. The Compressor app will open, showing a wide range of settings that we're about to dive into. As you can see, I already have several rendering presets ready. Let's break down the settings for 4K HDR video. On the first tab, General, it's a good idea to check the Optimize for Network Use box. Next, on the Video tab, we need to adjust several key settings. For color space, select Recnas 2020 PQ. For the codec, choose HEVC. Under Profile, make sure to select 10-bit color, 4.2.2. In the data rate settings, I set the bitrate to 100,000 kbps. For the resize filter, I recommend anti-aliased, best, and for retiming quality, it's best to choose the best option as well. Finally, on the Audio tab, you can set the bitrate to its maximum value for the best sound quality. Once your 4K HDR preset is ready, drag it onto your video and click the Start Batch button. The HDR rendering process will begin. The time it takes depends on the length of your video and your computer's performance. Keep Compressor open, or the process will be interrupted. When your video is ready, upload it to YouTube as usual. However, there's one catch. You can't publish the HDR version immediately. It usually takes 1 to 3 days for YouTube to fully process it. That's why it's best to upload your video as unlisted, a few days before you plan to publish. For example, this 4-minute test video took nearly 30 hours for YouTube to process into HDR. So, always plan ahead. I hope this video was helpful for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up.